Hey, how you doing? Glad you stopped by. Just getting ready to cook some supper. And tonight, I thought we would try something a little different. I mean, there's sliders, just like you would make in any casserole dish, you know, with King Hawaiian buns or a bun of your choice, or rolls, cut in half with something in between them. But these ones are called Kentucky Brown Hot Sliders. And they are a representation of an open-faced sandwich that they serve around Kentucky Derby time. These would be good to serve at a party, hands down, I think. And I thought, I read the recipe and I thought, that sounds interesting. There's actually a couple different recipes, versions out there. One has Gruyere cheese, one has white cheddar. We're going to do the white cheddar version. One has pimentos, one has tomatoes. We're going to do both. I'm going to do half pimento, half tomato, because I'm interested in trying both of them. That, and Chris told me that she wanted to try the pimento one, and I thought, well, yeah, that does sound good, but I really want to try the tomato one also. So we're going to do both. I'll just split them down the middle. If this is your first video and you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad you stopped by. I hope you get something out of this video. Check out some of my other ones. If you're returning or one of our new subscribers here in the neighborhood, welcome back and thank you. Hands down, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. As always, that keeps us out in the algorithm, keeps the neighborhood growing. Eventually we'll hit small village status and we'll be a community of good neighbors doing good things for each other and people around us. Comments are always welcome. I love comments. I respond to pretty much all of them, and you know, all I ever ask is be nice. You don't have to agree with me, you don't have to agree with somebody in the comments, just think before you type. You know, we are a group of polite people. That's important. So anyhow, let's get in here to the counter and we're gonna get started on these. They won't take long at all. It's 3 different steps, but none of the steps are lengthy or hard. So let's get down to the counter and get started. Hold on for me 1 second. Okay, so we're down here at the counter. First thing we need, recipe. And like I said, this has got 3 separate parts. None of these parts are hard. None of them take long. But the first thing we need to do, and this will be one of only 2 dishes we'll need, the other one being an 11 by 7 pan, like a 9 by 13, only 11 by 7, which I don't own, so we're improvising. Or you could just easily double this recipe and use a 9 by 13. But we're going to start off with a saucepan. Now in this saucepan we're going to start warming it up. And what we want to do is we're going to want to melt 1 tablespoon of butter in here. Okay, our butter is melted. Our 1 tablespoon of butter is melted. So now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of just regular old all-purpose flour. And we want to whisk this in and get it smooth. We're basically making a roux. And we're going to let this cook for just a minute until it's like golden brown. Okay, we are at a light golden brown. I can see that there at all, really. But yeah, it's just almost like a caramel is what we're looking for. And well, caramel color. Yeah, you don't want it to be caramel. You're looking more like a roux. We don't want to go with the dark roux, but we don't want a blonde roux. We want something in between. So the next thing we're going to do is I've got 1 cup of whole milk right here, and I've got it at room temperature, not fresh out of the fridge. And we're just going to slowly pour this in and whisk at the same time. All right, and now we're going to add our seasonings, which is really easy. It's just simply salt, pepper, and nutmeg, and it's a half a teaspoon of each. So a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And this is the second time in a row well, not in a row, but the second time in a couple weeks we've used nutmeg back to back in a kind of an odd situation, because we used it with the lasagna too, or the lasagna soup, and I thought that was rather strange. This would be interesting, and I think it'll add a good flavor to this cheese sauce. That is what we're making, by the way, is the cheese sauce that goes on this. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna stir this until it starts to thicken up. Take about 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, so our sauce is starting to thicken up. So the last thing we want to add to this, I have got 1 cup of shredded white cheddar cheese. We're gonna throw that in there. So we'll get it all in there. Lord knows we love cheese in this house. And then we got a 1/4 cup of parmesan shredded. I'm gonna throw that in there, and then we're just gonna mix this until the cheese is melted and it's smooth, and then we'll take it off the heat and move on to the next thing we got to make, which is the butter that we're gonna put on the top of the sliders. Okay, we got our cheese done. Ooh, grab a piece of cheese. And it's set off to the side. So the next thing we need to do is make our butter that's gonna go on the top of this. And I'm telling you, this is such an easy dish to do. All that's left after this is to get our buns, the turkey that we're gonna put on top of that, and then put it all together, you know, and we're done. So in my bowl here, I've got a 1/4 cup of melted butter. It's a half a stick, you know, 57 grams if you need to know. In my dish here, I've got a half a teaspoon of garlic salt and a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Now my butter in both these cases was unsalted butter, which is probably a good thing because it's got a lot of extra salt, I believe. And into that, I have got about a half a teaspoon of finely chopped parsley. We're gonna put that in there on my fine china. And then we will take a fork or a whisk, either way, and give this a good quick stir up, just like such. And now our sauces, our butter sauce is done. It looks really good too. That just, if you can see it, for that matter, looks really amazing. I need to bring my camera down a little bit so you can see things. Hold on for me. Okay, that's probably a lot better there. So now I can show you the garlic butter and you'd have an inkling of a clue as to what it looks like. Maybe, not any better. And here is our cheese sauce, right there, in all its fame and glory. You'll have to forgive me, I have been under the weather now for a couple days and my head is just going to explode, but unfortunately food waits for nobody, right? So, let me go grab the last bit of stuff here real quick and we can finish her up. Okay, so, I went and got my, this is what I was talking about by the, had to kind of run ad-lib it a little because I didn't have an exact square or rectangle 11 by 7, but I did have something close to do just one thing of King Hawaiian rolls in, and I didn't think about it because any other time I've done sliders, it didn't hit me when I was doing this, that we usually use 2 packs of buns and a 9 by 13, but this only calls for 1. If we like this, next time I'll do 2. So I cut my King Hawaiian rolls in half, long ways, right? So the top is over here, the bottoms are right here. And all we're gonna do now is build our sandwiches, our sliders. So I've got 1 pound of turkey right here, and we're just gonna load this bad boy up with some turkey to start with. Okay, so we got our turkey loaded. That was an entire pound that we stick up on top of that. That's a lot, really. So now we're gonna do our half and half. This is where we decided to try, well, by we I mean me, decided to try both because I wanted to do tomatoes and Chris wanted to try the pimentos. I was really okay with it either way, I guess, but I thought this could be something we can split down the center. And then we'll do our pimentos on this half because why not? I'm trying to remember the last time I had a pimento. And then we are going to take our cheese sauce grab a spoon right quick, and then we're just going to take our cheese sauce and pour it over the top. Now, I should have told you back as soon as we started these, put your oven at 350 degrees. As soon as we start putting these together, like this step here. That way your oven's running when you get done with these, because these are going to go in the oven as soon as we're done. So we got our cheese sauce on there. Ooh, that's a lot of sauce, but I'm not skipping out. I'm doing exactly what the directions called for. But it's a lot. After that, we are going to throw on some bacon. I have got 8 strips of thick cut bacon that I have chopped up. And we're gonna throw that all over the top here. It's like the world's greatest turkey, bacon, and tomato sandwich. At least that's what I'm thinking. And I don't think this is something you're going to be able to eat neatly with your fingers. Matter of fact, I think that 2 of the recipes I actually read on this said it's not finger food by any means. Now we'll put our tops on. Just like that. Well, that's a tall sandwich. Then we're going to take our butter, and I got to find a, let me get a brush real quick. Hold on for me. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. What I was thinking, but I need a brush. So that way we can brush our butter on the top here and get that all together. Oh, see, our oven is ready to go. Okay, we got our butter on the top there, so we got one thing left to do before we put it in the oven, and that is throw some foil on it. Now, we want to try to get it as best we can so it's not really touching the top of the sliders, which isn't, I mean, horribly difficult. Just like that. I mean, if it does, I don't think it's going to be any real big deal, but yeah, the one recipe was like, hey, you got to make sure it's not touching, it could blah, 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 but I don't see it doing a whole lot of damage to it. So, now what are we going to do? Me and you, are going to take this and we're going to throw it in the oven. Let's go ahead and get that in the oven on the center rack, and we're going to let this bake for 15 minutes. When that 15 minutes is up, we will take the foil off the top of it and bake it for another 5 until the top is golden brown, and then we can take it out and try a piece. Alright, so when I come back, we will try a bit of this. Alright, hold on for me 1 second. Alright, we did our 15 minutes with the foil on, 5 minutes with it off, and I think it looks fantastic. I'll bring it up a little closer to you so you can see, but I think that just looks outstanding. Look at all that cheese on the side. That's going to be crazy. I like a good cheese sauce. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take from the middle. Normally I just take from the end, but I really want to try one with tomato and one with the pimentos so I can get the full reach around. And we'll see how the turkey does with my dental work, because the last time I had a turkey sandwich, granted it was a cold cut turkey sandwich, it didn't play so well with my dentures, but we'll see. And yes, I have dentures. For those of you that didn't know, now you do. Oh no! We fell apart. Well, it was definitely a messy sight, but it turned out well, I think. I think they look good. And I'm sure I won't be able to eat just 2. That seems to be the nature of the beast at any rate. Plus, with me having this cold, I don't know where I picked it up at, and I went all winter without catching anything. I mean, everybody in the house was sick forever. I didn't catch anything. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, bam, smacked me in the face. But that's all right. We will rumble through it as always. Meanwhile, we're going to try a bit of this. I'm going to grab a knife real quick and I'll have to cut it. So that way I can, you know, because like I said, lunch meat always doesn't always play so well with my dental work. That was the side with the pimento. Absolutely amazing. That cheese sauce is crazy good. Crazy good. Now let's try it with some tomato. Well, It is good also. But I will say the pimento adds more flavor. The tomato is good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is very good. But that pimento takes it up a notch in the flavor department, hands down. So I think, hey, we will make this again because it tastes delicious. It's really good. And this would be good if you had company coming over. It takes no time to make. 15 minutes to put together at most. 20 minutes in the oven. And if you doubled this into a 9x13 and did 24 of them, you're feeding a small crowd. They'll probably be the first thing to go. Throw this together with a couple other little side dishes. You've got a good party, especially for the Kentucky Derby. You could even do the Kentucky Derby pie that I have. There you go. You got two things that you could make for a Kentucky Derby party. Invite your friends over, neighbors over, have a little get together, get to know some people. It'll be fun. That being said, no clue what we're doing for dessert. And we will be canning this Saturday, but I have no clue what yet. I have a list of things. I was thinking about sirloin and mushrooms that you can put over rice eventually. It's really good, and I don't think I've actually even done a video for it. But that's a possibility. I got a couple of things in my head I want to do. But anyhow, give this a try. Let me know if you do. You're not going to be disappointed. This is definitely one to add to the list of sliders that I have under the dinner videos that is a keeper. I can't think of a reason why we wouldn't. But anyhow, let me know if you try this. Let me comment down below. You can find us on Facebook as always, Instagram, either way. I try to check it as much as possible, but I lack. I'm old. Social media is not my gig altogether. Tomorrow for dessert, not sure. I'm sure it'll be something good. Not healthy, but good. And yeah, so until then, until tomorrow, when we get together for dessert, I love you. I love you very much. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else that you love them, that you love them very much. They may need to hear it. It's going to make them smile either way it goes. It's going to make you feel good to tell them that. I guarantee it. You'll probably even smile. And if you make them some of these Kentucky hot brown sliders, guaranteed they're going to smile, with every bite. And that's going to lead to lots of conversation. So until tomorrow for dessert, I love you. I'll see you then. See you later. Bye-bye.